In the bottom left, in the blue, one of the best Vanguard versus Infernal players in the game, the number 2 seed in this tournament. His name is Mixu. And on the upper right, in the red, very outdated build, actually. Well, actually, no, that's not even true. Because I'm hearing rumors that Andreas is doing this. Anyways, for Team Liquid, in the red, it's Elazer. And this double vault idea, every other Infernal player, and most Infernal players we see, they go Shrine first. They go maybe Conclave Shrine or something. They're trying to get up to 3 shrines as quickly as possible. And Elazer's like, yeah, I'm going to do the same thing that I've been doing forever. I'm going to go double vault. I'm going to go the right side. I'm going to go get the speed camp. I mean, this is the build Elazer was doing. Actually, it looks like he's going to go take the vision camp first. This is the build that Elazer was doing in 0.0 and 0.1 and in the pre-early access and the beta as well. This is his thing. This is how he likes to play. Actually, I said he was going to go get camps. Apparently not. Apparently he's just going to run onto the other side of the map. But what do we have here? 1 Lancer versus 1 Brute and 1 Hexen. The Lancer does win. Now, yeah, the Bob's in. Yeah, the perspective overcharge. That is a little bit different. So what he's going to try to do here is see if he can get one of these Bobs low enough to get an imp or to get a skull on top of it. It's not going to work. Bob gets low. Not really going to get all that much done. And now there's a second barracks on the way. Mixu, he's going to defend this thing fairly easily. And because of this, because of what has happened, this actually puts Elazer down fairly significantly. His natural's not done. Natural is done fully mining. 8 out of 12 for Mixu at this point. So it really is now this brute pressure starting to arrive that is pretty important. So we don't see a sentry post up just yet, but another barracks, a biolab on the way. So this is 3 racks biolab, which is how players have been playing for the most part, but sentry post is going to take a while. Overcharge is here, but the sentry post is just going to go down. And the overcharge, sorry, I think I said overcharge. I was just looking at the little sparks from mining. Overcharge, not all that great. Not really available at the moment, apparently. So we're going to see some skulls on these Lancers, taking damage for just a little bit more. But for now, the Bob pull seems to be fine. And remember, this is something that Mixu can afford because his main base is well saturated. He has 2 bases. His economy is in a really, really nice spot. And that allows him... So we see the Exos on the way, not just yet. That allows him to go kind of have this mining time lost, even as he's in the situation where, you know, maybe it would be suboptimal. But for now, Exos now getting started here, at least the first of them. Fully actually oversaturated in the main base. Bob's getting pulled into the third. Mixu seems pretty confident of the hold. Now, the one downside, these Lancers are getting kind of low, and there is not a lot of healing. So you do have to be careful with things as they spawn. Exo, just the first one. Any little bit of range damage is going to be very, very useful. And look at this. Mixu actually moves on the map. He's like, yeah, there's a health kit flower that has not been used. That's going to get my low Lancer. It's going to bring it right back up. And now as the Exos are starting to hit the field, this is where life becomes a little bit more difficult. Tries. This Hexen should go down. Yep, that's going to fall. Hexen's dead. Fiends in the main base are going to do what they can, but really not a lot here. And Mixu, I think, has confirmed the hold. Now, this Lancer, want to keep it alive, absolutely. But at this point, 2 brutes coming in 1 by 1, not really getting a lot. Fiends in the main base, they kill off the scout from the early game. That's just about it. Lancer's finally going to fall, but really not a lot of damage remaining. And the Fiends are just going to have to run away. So Mixu, flying colors. Third base now on the way for Elazer. He's kind of backed up from this a little bit. And this was heavy pressure from Elazer. Don't get me wrong. He forced a lot of mining time to be lost. There's no quick draw hustle on the way. No kinetic redirect on the way. No real tech coming out to go buttress this bioforce. No med techs as well. Nothing like that. So from that perspective, it is a little bit awkward. This is Mixu's tech being slowed down just a little bit. But his third base is going to go down. It's going to be finished right around the same time the Lasers is, because quick build is a thing. And overcharged quick build is even faster. Fiends are going to try to get on top of some of the Bobs. And repair is, well, not going to keep them alive in time. So that slows things down just a tiny bit. But again, as it stands here, creep camps getting taken out. Finally getting creeped by Mixu. He's up in supply. He's got a central command whenever he wants one, not just now. The one thing I'm paying attention to, and the one thing that we are missing from Mixu in this game, is upgrades. I'm keeping an eye on this biolab. He can build exos all he wants, but without quick draw, they're not nearly as strong. Their damage goes down, and their damage doesn't go. I had someone in the YouTube comments asking about this. It's not like quick draw hustle makes them attack faster or do more damage, but exos are a key component to exo, to how the exo works, is how fast it can engage with the army, can kite forward and kite backwards. Otherwise, there's a kind of lot of time where you're just not firing. So adding in quick draw hustle is a significant damage per second boost because it means the exos can fire and then reshoot, fire and reshoot, fire and reshoot, over and over and over again. And without that, the power of this army is just significantly lesser. So no quick draw, no kinetic. Do we have it researching now? Finally, yeah, finally now quick draw's on the way. And this pressure on this fourth base, I don't know how much is going to get done actually, because we do have a couple Hellborn, and against this army, a couple defensive Hellborn are very, very nice. Even as it stands, though, this is still a big army. We're going to see the targeted Lancers going to get targeted down. Now, Nightfall, not really going to land all that well, and Mixu is going to kill off the third base, or at least force a cancel, and then, hey, there's a healing camp. Not a lot of damage getting done, so Mixu on 3 bases. Elazer on 3 bases, but only 4 workers on this third base. Greater Shrine, no Elder Shrine on the way just yet. In fact, it looks like the Spire just completed. And Mixu, well, again, quick draw was a little slow. It's done now. He can start moving into higher tier tech if that's what he wants to do. Maybe medtechs, moving to Vulcans or something like that. For now, don't really see that. In fact, no, Mech Bay is only just getting at it in now. Regardless, his army is going like gangbusters, and Elazer has lost track of the army at the third base. Yeah, there's going to be a Shroud Stone getting dropped down, and even though, sure, bonus, it is -1 damage versus heavy units for the Exo, it's more than enough to go and take the Shroud Stone down. Hellborn are going to do what they can, but hey, quick draw hustle immediately on top. Elazer has to tap out. That early game pressure didn't work out at all, and Mixu, nice defense, takes game 1. So here we are. Mixu is up a map. We're probably going to see him go command post first. We know he is. He's saving up money for it. Meanwhile, Elazer, double Volt. It's really kind of interesting. Elazer is this cheesy guy in StarCraft 2 as well. This really aggressive player. But he looks at increased economy and says, I can get aggressive faster. I can afford double Volt in the first minute of the game. And I can go and do these things that I was previously not allowed to do. And this is kind of what I was excited about. This is kind of what I was excited about when they made these changes. I'm like, not only does this make speed up the macro games more, it should mean that aggressive options are more viable. Because it's kind of funny. With StarCraft, when we buffed the number of workers and we sped up the economy, we actually lost out on a lot of early aggression. It disappeared because you got into the mid-game too quickly. In Stormgate, the economy was so slow that you had to creep in the early game. And if you had to creep in the early game, you're not really putting a ton of aggression the first couple minutes on. This economic boost means creeping is certainly an option, and it is an impactful option if you decide to go for that. But on the flip side, if you don't, you can still do this. You can still do what Elazer's doing, which is double Vault. Now, this is a much faster Shrine than he did go for in game number 1, so probably not quite as committed pressure. But he's going to go and put this pressure on because of the economic boost, which I am a big fan of. I do really enjoy the fact that, and I think this is underexplored, I think we're going to see it more, that now aggressive options are viable in a way that they weren't really nearly as much in previous patches. So for now, here comes the Brute. Here comes the Hexen. We know the story. Gets to go. Oh, that's a great job there. Dodges the skull, just hides in the turret. And for now, these brutes are not going to do a lot. Now, if you are Mixu with this turret up, you would love to get to a biolab as quickly as possible. That skull's going to finally connect. You'd love to go get to a biolab as quickly as possible. Putting an Exo in this turret is a great thing because you get 12 range. You get much further range, and that actually matters quite a bit when you're trying to make this defense happen. But in the meantime, it's going to be fine. Certainly, we're going to see a skull go down on the other Lancer, but you dodge the first one. Now, there's no healing here, and there's no healing camp nearby. Look at the scout. Looking to see just how committed this is from Elazer. Is this continuous rally, nothing else? Is there a natural done? Elazer's 9 out of 12 on the natural. He's not committing nearly as much as he did in game number 1. And Mixu is committing a little bit more in game number 1. So from a build order perspective, you gotta figure that this is marginally better for Elazer in game number 2. Not marginally, significantly better for Elazer in game 2 than game number 1, especially with these Fiends being that much more effective. They, a couple patches ago, they made Fiends far less tanky. I think they lost about a 30 combined HP, but maybe 25 combined HP, but they do a little bit more damage. So against things that cannot fight back, Fiends are very good. Against workers, Fiends can be very good if you don't pull your workers fast enough. So now Overcharge is going to get pulled. Seems like Mixu wants to go take a third base. Mini X's on the way. One is getting started here, rallied into the main. I don't know that I like taking the third base right now. This feels a little bit gumptuous. A lot of gumption. A little bit ballsy. There we go. Coming out of Mixu. He's like, I want the third base. Great. Third base, by the way, from Elazer is just about done. That's actually, you know, maybe it's not all that bad. A lot of brutes here on the map, but if the Lancers are going to get on top of it, this is the perfect time. They're all lacking significant armor. Minus 50 armor here, so they're taking that much more damage. And that means that these Lancers are very, very scary. And now we're going to see them promoted a little bit. Move, well, not move faster, but do a little bit more damage. Do it, tank a little bit more, have a little bit more armor. And that means that Hexen will fall down. Your scouting utility in the early game, gone. Your a little extra creeping power, also not there. And now Mixu solidly on 3 bases. That is where he wanted to be. We are again seeing the slow quick draw hustle, the slow tech coming out. He wants to get army before he wants to go and do anything more. Okay, 2 more conclaves. And we are on 4 Shrine for Elazer, which matters for a couple reasons. Not only, it does speed up this Therium mining. Mining from here to the Therium camp is much more efficient than mining from the Therium camp to the Shrine in the natural. Significantly so. So you put the Shrine there, but also it takes a while to fully saturate a base with 3 Shrine. You got to spend some animus on it, but going up to 4 Shrine means that you really just saturate your base just a little bit faster. That matters quite a bit. I would love to see Elazer eventually go take this north side base, again for the Therium more so than anything else. And now Mixu feels relatively confident. He's like, I can go pressure. This is fine. I know your base is here. I don't have quick draw, and in fact, it's only just now getting started. And certainly Shroudstone Manifestation exists, but that's almost a benefit in and of itself. Mixu has forced a Shroudstone out. He's forced 45 Animus out on the map. Maybe it's 50. But he's forced a lot of Animus to be spent, which means now there's only going to be 1 Nightfall Resurgence available at the moment instead of 2, which slows down economic growth elsewhere, slows down army production elsewhere. Now we're going to see one of these Weavers, wrong time, wrong place. You will gladly trade 2 X's for a Weaver, 100%. That is 200 Therium down the drain. Mixu very excited about how this is going to go. So now Magmadons, they're getting added in a little bit more, but quick draw is going to be done very soon. Third base is done. Now we got some mech bases on the way. Vulcans probably, eventually into Atlases once we move into Miasma Tech. And look at what Elazer's doing. This is not where you generally expand. Elazer expanding bottom right, very far away from the rest of his bases. But it does have Luminite, it does have Therium, it does give you an access point into the Vanguard Natural if that's really what you're looking for. So for right now, Mixu, he just continues to attack. Elazer loves his Weavers, but we're going to have to see if this is good enough. Certainly you can lash a couple of these Exos, and that's pretty good. But I worry that this might be a little bit too much. So stomp on the Magmadons, plus the slow means Magmadons will kind of connect here. But going this many Weavers early instead of Hellborn, Weavers are not the tanky units that they used to be. So it looks like X's on the north side. They're going to get taken down by all these Fiends. Oh, well, maybe not, actually. That HP buff, just positioning of the Lancer at the front line means they're going to be fine. Weavers have to teleport home. One's going to get taken down. Second one, well, it's not going to die. But that's a dead Weaver. That's a dead Magmadon. A disastrous fight for Elazer in the middle of the map. And Mixu's got his 4th base on the way. Do we have kinetic redirect done? No, not just yet, but Hangar Bay is done, which means we're going to get Sentinels on the way soon. Maybe we get an evac for good measure getting started, but we're starting to get to that Exodia composition that Vanguard players love to play with. You're going to have Nano Swarm. You're going to have a Sentinel or two. They're going to have Haste Bot. You're going to have System Shock. And you're just going to have this incredibly speedy poking army that is very, very difficult for the Infernal player to properly run into. So for now, this base is going to get found out. The Shroud Stone that was manifested preemptively is just dead. And we will see Weavers go. Teleport right on top. Sorry, Weaver. Teleport right on top of things. It's just going to get targeted down. It was not tanky anymore. Seems like, yep, it's going to be dead. And now Exos have to run. They're just going to dodge the Nightfall. One Exo, second Exo will fall. And the army's not quite all there together. But this army for Mixu is way too strong for Elazer. These early double vault builds, I don't think they're very good. And going all these Weavers into this style, I don't think this is the play. I think Elazer is playing about one meta out of date. So for now, that means that Mixu is up 2-0. So now it's game 3, and Elazer, I lied in the break. Between games, I said Elazer's changing things up just a little bit. Yeah, no, double vault on the way. We are in the bone zone, and Elazer wants to join us. Oh, no, not again. But he's going to continue to put this pressure on, and I don't have a lot of faith. Interesting, though, Mixu is not doing the bob pull into the camp into the natural. Instead, he would just rather go pull 3 bobs, build the natural as quick as possible. And I think this makes sense, knowing who Elazer is. Because what this means is, yeah, there we go, quick barracks. You're into mining out the natural faster, and it means you get your barracks a little bit faster. And again, this is super important because he knows it's double vault shrine. Sorry about moving the camera there. It's double vault shrine, which is exactly what Elazer's been doing every single game. And so if he can go and cut a couple corners and get himself even more prepared for it, then that's going to be fine. And also, he knows Elazer wants this camp, so you scout around, look for the shot. Nice body block in there. He's not going to be able to get the first fiend, and unfortunately, also suffers from some radioactive blood. So the scout's going to have to go and find a healing fruit. He knows exactly where it is. There we go. Almost exactly where it is. Clicks on the wrong spot at first, and by the time the scout comes back, he's not going to be able to snipe any of the creeps, which is annoying, but maybe you can just steal the health camp. And Elazer's not going to be too happy about that one. Having a little bit of passive HP regen is a very nice thing to do, but it seems like Brute is going to go and get there just in time. Snaffines run across, a couple Brutes rallying as well, and already, where is our Lancer? Where is that on the map? We know there was, yep, there it is. Creeping out the health camp. Now, Fiends get a nice little surround here, but I don't know how much. Actually, I think Fiends got one of those health creeps, but the Fiends are going to go down. And now there's a barracks in the health area, which is always very nice. This is just very hard to harass. Now the Fiend's going to go down. Health camp gets claimed, and it's going to be 2 Lancers, one of which, of course, with a little bit of radioactive blood, which means not great. But yeah, as Vettel points out, one of the Lancers did go down. So it's 2 Lancers instead of the 3. Not great, but look at this Brood on the right side. It's going to fiend and jump away, but it was kept out of the fight for just a little bit. And remember, behind this, Elazer is macroing up. This is not the massive commitment from game number 1. So any mining time you lose is a little bit more impactful. It's a little bit more impactful. Vettel asking, where's Rushy? Yeah, he was not available this weekend. I did ask him if he wanted to join me on the broadcast, and he had other plans. But look at this body block. Oh, man, overcharge as well. These 2 Brutes are dead. Beautiful move here. And by the way, I think the Hexen dies too. Maybe not, but it gets pretty low. So Brutes are going to get taken down. The overcharge well-timed you just to keep things alive. And, well, we're going to have a biolab soon, which means there are going to be Exos on the way. And the Exos are the eventual solution to this. Now, I love what Elazer's doing on this map, because this map, you got 2 entries into your main base. It is a lot harder to defend, especially with Fiends as fast as they are able to rotate around. There's only so many overcharges available. Bobs have to get pulled, and maybe one of them will not die just yet. Lancers will arrive, and meanwhile, more Brutes on the other side. This is the map where I would love to see a sentry post in both bases. Put a sentry post like right here, put a sentry post like right there. That probably shuts this, that makes life a lot easier. And yes, it is a little expensive, but I think it's worth doing. As it stands, Mixu has survived once again. Mixu has, assumedly, Exo's on the way. Yeah, Mixu, as Exo's getting at it in here, he's not going to allow Elazer to go try to steal some of his creeps. And yeah, the Fiends are sharking around a little bit. Maybe they can go find one of these Exos as they rally across, but that is not a certainty. And at the end of the day, Mixu, he is super saturated as natural. He's saturated in his main base. He's got a bunch of Therium income. He is exactly where he would like to be. This is not, it slowed him down, sure, but hasn't really slowed him down any more than Elazer slowed himself down. 10 to 12 in the natural. Greater Shrine done. Oh, he's going Conclave. This could be two things. So there's a Twilight Spire on the way. This could just be for Greater, this could just be for Quick Elder. This could be for like a Brute Dragon timing, which MSRM has done sometimes and seems like it's reasonable. Or this could be for quick drops, something like that. I don't think this is Spriggans. I think the fact that X's are out on the map already, I think that's a little bit too dangerous. Although again, no quick draw hustle. This is where Mixu gets slowed down a little bit, where he doesn't get, because of the pressure and because of how many units he feels he has to get out, he just doesn't really get quick draw hustle up. So, okay, no, it's going to be Spriggans. Interesting. Triple Shrine. Or Triple Spire. So where's our Shadow Cleft? There it is. Triple Spire Shadow Cleft coming down. Wait. Yeah. Triple Spire Shadow Cleft coming from Elazer here. So that's going to be a lot of Spriggans. I don't know. I don't think Spriggans are very good in this matchup right now. Snox is saying he's going to drop 8 Brutes on top of the X's and demolish the fight. If he can do so. But again, 2 more of the Shadow Flyer's on the way this early without confirmation. There's no hanger, by the way. Wait, is he going to go Dive Bomb? No, absolutely. There's 0 chance. I guess he's just getting Shadow Flyers for vision right now, maybe. Getting Shadow Flyers this early doesn't make a ton of sense otherwise, but there come the Spriggans. All right, so they're getting made out of here. And in the meantime, third base done for Mixu. These Fiends are finally getting handled for the most part. Mixu just establishing vision everywhere as he goes and starts to get some of his upgrades. Do we have quick draw? Yes, we do. No kinetic redirect. We're not seeing the medtech upgrades just yet, but Mixu's very happily on 3 bases. And Elazer's only on 2, so really... Emmett's sort of saying, ain't no way this Dive Bomb, I hope it is. Yeah, I'm like, I don't think it is. I don't even know where the Shadow Flyers went. They're just part of the army. Like, there's no way this is Dive Bomb, but it would be cool. Is Fiend Spriggan good for cleaning out Exos? It depends on numbers. If you're just trying to fight Exos, you really want Gaunts. Dive Bomb should be able to hit Exos. That'd be fun. But now those Spriggans are going to go, and they're going to start to attempt to supply block Mixu here, and there is nothing in the main base. So the Solar Habitat's going to go down, and now they're going to start to slowly but steadily kill off mobs. It takes, especially if you're mass repairing the mobs, which he's not right now, a bit of a mistake with Mixu, it takes so long to go mass repair. Now the problem is this army on the other side. Can you fight this army, Elazer? And the answer is he might be able to, especially if oh god, he's not microing. Oh god, those stomps are good. Those stomps are really, really good. So yes, the answer is absolutely. Elazer can go fight the army. The Spriggans distracting on the other side. And they're going to fight I mean, Vulcans don't do anything to these. It's all about the Exos, and they are so heavily binding Saliva at this point that they're just not allowed to fight. And this actually is turning into a very good situation for Elazer right now. The Spriggans distracted his opponent just enough that it meant that the fight at the front did not kill him. And because the fight at the front did not kill him, the Spriggans are still doing a lot. Hornet now, Hangar Bay is ready. It's gonna take forever to come out though, because this is I forget what the nerf is. I forget exactly how much binding Saliva. Yeah. 30% production time decreased is a big, big deal. This is going to try to turn into a solar. And once the Hornet's out, the Spriggans are not useful. Once you get a single Hornet out, Spriggans don't do a lot. But this buys time for the rest of the army to get across the map. This is traded out rather nicely. So for now, yes, this third base command post is under some pressure. It's building Bobs 30% slower, but the Hornets should be out now. And yeah, they're killing off some Bobs, but not a ton of them. And there's our Hornet. Okay. 17 damage versus Spriggans. Yeah. Oh, Skymine's going to go down as well. Of course, this was a buff. You know, no longer need an upgrade for it as Elazer tries to take a fight at the same time. This is multitasking. Love to see it. Nightfall is going to go down. Tries to slow this army down, but you do have an escape for now. I don't know. Yeah, stasis or System Shock is only just now getting started, so you cannot remove the slow. Should be fine, though. Meanwhile, third base here. Spriggan's getting on top of that one. Do we have any anti-air to deal with the Hornets? Not really. No anti-air right now, so nothing properly, like no Shadow Flyers part of this army, no Gaunts. The Hornets will be able to zone out reasonably well, especially with mass repair. And it seems like Mixu has weathered a very... Oh, well, these Bobs are in a bit of an awkward spot. It seems like Mixu has weathered a very scary portion of this game where now the Hornets are out. They should be mass repaired. Bobs are going to be there. Repair the Hornet. Mixu not going to be able to do so. So maybe I spoke a little bit too soon. Hornets so slow, but now the X's are going to start to arrive, and that should be fine. Man, it's so slow. Remember, though, Elazer's only just now getting his third base. Why can't Vulcan shoot air? Like, just shoot up low. And apparently Albino has told Monk, and Monk said he agrees. But I love how Elazer's, like, we are seeing right now how Elazer is a top RTS player. Like, that is, regardless of balance, everything else, Elazer is a, you know, he cut his teeth. He has won StarCraft 2 tournaments. The multitasking that he is displaying right now is something that we don't necessarily see from everyone. So 2 flocks of Spriggans, 1 in the main base, 1 delaying this 4th base. It's not going to be allowed. Certainly there's going to be a Shroudstone going up as well. And Mixu just feels like at this point, he's got to run to the middle of the map. He's got a powerful army, but Elazer's just not allowing him to bring it to bear. So now there's a high command out. It's never going to happen, right? Well, if you decide to target it down, there's another hangar bay here. Should be able to build 2 Hornets at a time, if that's going to be the play. And now the question is whether this setup that Elazer has built, he has committed so hard into Spriggans, whether he can go and defend this attack in the front. For now, he's going to lose all these Fiends, lose all the Bobs, and it doesn't look like Flaming Imps are a thing. So that brings the supply down significantly. So main base staying alive. Bubble on the Hornet's going to be okay. And look at this army running on forward. Stasis Trap or Stasis Drone on one of the Magmadons, just really denying the shock and awe power. And this concave is pretty good, but the army's not dying just yet. The Gaunts have to continue to run away. Unfortunately, the Sentinel was taken down, so the speed boost not really there anymore. And look at everything get slowed down, infested, slowed down. And by the way, Spriggans on the left side getting really good harassment value here as well. Do we have the upgrade? No, we don't. But Binding Saliva, even 15 stacks of it, is doing a very, very nice job. And by the way, Elazer's 4th base is just about done. So finally, he's going to get ahead in economy. And it's taken us a couple games, but it seems like Elazer has gotten kind of a handle on how he wants to play Infernal versus Vanguard, wants to play against Mixu. And it is giving us a treat. This is not the positional back and forth we saw from Albino versus Theory or something, where it's all about the miasma and going back and forth and playing around like that. This is a mass multi-prong Elazer, 2 hotkeys worth of Spriggans, plus a main army group, harassing everything, not allowing Mixu to bring his army to bear, pinning him back home on this big map, and just not letting him get the 4th base. This is a very cool way to play. Now, finally, we do have System Shock. Certainly, Survival Protocol is on the way. And the question, really the big question now, is whether Mixu can find any harass of his own. Because he has been pinned back at home. Yeah, he can defend his home just fine. Nice move there with the Sky Mines as well, defending against these Spriggan run-bys, or these flybys. But can he, A, defend every base? Because he pulled his entire army into the main base to defend these Spriggans, and he has not had effective harass on the other side. And B, can he do anything? Can he get maybe some Graven on the map and shut down Elazer's stuff? For now, these Hornets are not firing. Sky Mines are going to go down, but they're just going to get targeted down. One of them makes contact, it looks like. But this 3rd base is not going to die. But that is a lot of dead Bobs. At the very least, well, maybe they're not. It looks like a decent amount of them went to go mine out of the Therium. And now Fiends are going to dive into the main base. Yes, a Hornet. It can shoot down. It's actually not firing right now, but even still, now Fat Tack goes to the front. Sticky Bomb is going to try to slow these Magmadons down, but they got Raging Tendons, and that means they're going to get right through, but it's actually not going to be all that bad. And we got Nanoswarm going off as well. The healing's going to be pretty good. Eventually, the Shroud's going to go down. It seems like, yeah, a little bit too little, a little bit too far. Elazer overcommits on top of this one, loses a lot. And Shroudfall does not last forever. Now, these Exos on the low ground, that's not where they want to be. They have to retreat, but Survival Protocol keeps them just alive a little bit longer. Good zoning from the Hedgehog means that the flying units are not going to be able to do what they want to do. And even as the Fiends are killing off everything in this main base, the third base will stand. Mixu for the first time in a while builds himself a supply lead. Magmadons will fall, and it begs the question, as it always does, is this enough? Can you run across the map if you're Mixu now? Can you really take advantage of this position because you're losing your main base? This high command will fall down. Like, it looks like he's getting enough of it back right now. This high command is getting low. And remember, Elazer is up bases. He's up 2 bases on Mixu right now. You give him a little bit of time, he's gonna be able to remax. By the way, this main base, fully mined out. Main base of Elazer mined out as well. Natural as well for both sides. So Mixu's on 1 base mining. 7 workers, 7 Bobs mining Luminite. The only Luminite income that he has. So he's going to have to go and build this elsewhere. And by the way, this Shroud is not real. This is a bug. This is a visual bug on like half the map. He's not. Oh, that's a nice catch there on the Hellborn. Taking those down is a big, big deal. That's a lot of splash damage. A lot of damage over time because I assume they got Molten Touch. Can't click. There we go. Yeah, they absolutely do have Molten Touch. So Elazer back to that supply lead. And really what we need to see Gravens on these outlying bases. We really need to see some harassment getting started. Mixu is not allowed to play this game this many bases down without doing some sort of counterplay. That's how he had to take advantage of how bad of a fight that was for Elazer. So he's going to go. He's going to infiltrate this base. This Shrine's going to get taken down. That is stealing money from Elazer. That is cutting down an economy from Elazer. He has to figure out this west base eventually, but not going to get it for the moment. Now Shadow Flyers, maybe. Oh, no. This is not good. This is not good at all. Yeah, Survival Protocol keeps things alive for the time being, but a lot of the Hornets have fallen. That stomp was really, really good. Graven on the other side looking for some harass. No way to get on top of this base. But even still, this base not mining. This base dead. The economy has been equalized for the most part. But Mixu lost a lot in that trade. He lost almost all of his anti-air. And that means the Dragon is a little bit more unfettered. But look at this. We're going to see infiltrates on the main base, which means no top bar abilities. But it seems like they're going to be able to get out for now. Magmadon Stomp is good. Yeah, there we go. It's going to kill 2 off 2 of these Graven. Not sure what these Magmadon are doing. This game is sick. This game is like, this is Boneyard just gives us good games. It also gives us bad games, to be clear. The creep camp is not ideal, but Mixu. Okay, can he dive through here? Do we have System Shock? Are you gonna commit it? Gets on top of the Dragon. Dragon's dead. That's a big deal. That is, your infest is no longer nearly as impactful, but now you gotta get away. System Shock away. Blink away from the Magmadons. So they stomp in. Stomp's not gonna last that much longer. They're just fast now. They're just doing a little bit of damage, but they don't do a lot to the Exos. They only do bonus damage to heavy, not everything else. And that means that theoretically, Mixu should be able to hold this position. Magmadons stomp in once again, but we got the med turret. It's keeping things alive. 4 HP per second. Hellborn, they're going to get taken down as well. And in probably the best game of Stormgate I've seen, to be totally clear, Mixu 3-0's Elazer. He's got to hit with Snox turn the finals. But absolutely, give me more of that. Hot damn. Thank you. That was awesome. And if you want more of this, of course, sub to YouTube. You know the drill. See you next time.